Hello, hello. Welcome back to another moon ceremony. I'm Safrianna Lughna, the Queer Spirit Guide, and as always, it is a delight to be here with you in 2026. It feels so weird to me that we have officially landed in a new calendar year because I feel like 2025 was just one of the most rapid fire years I have ever faced, and I know so many people feel the same. So I have such high hopes for 2026. I have been talking about it everywhere that I just feel this difference in the energy. And I've been looking into some of the astrology, and it makes sense that so many of us are picking up on a different vibe for this year because there are definitely some interesting astrological things coming up. But that is just one facet of where we are collectively. There's this astrology happening that is like no year we've ever seen before, but we as a species are also facing things unlike anything we have ever experienced before here on Earth, with the rise of artificial intelligence, the craziness just happening in our global community, and just so many big, massive shifts that have disrupted us from our nature. So, this year I really see as a reclamation year for us, as a time to go back to our roots. And in fact, that is one of the themes with tonight's full moon. So, just in case this is your first time joining me, and by the way, totally new time here. So, we'll see what happens with if people are able to be here live more or not. But I had done a survey last year, and this time was the most highly voted. So I decided to see what happens if I run the ceremonies at this time. And so, new year, new time. Who knows if it'll maintain, but let me know if you're watching this, how this time feels for you, or if you're a person who tends to watch the replay. Because if you're a replay person, then the time doesn't matter so much, and this time works well for me. But anyway, in case this is your first time, we always follow the same routine process through these rituals. We'll start with a collective energy update, move into intention setting and energy clearing, a guided practice, and then I will pull some cards for the collective. So let's dive in with the energy. So, as I said, roots is a big theme with this moon. There are three words that I have written down that are sort of the things we're being called to look at right now. And those words are roots, home, and loose ends. Roots, home, and loose ends, because we need to return to our roots. The Capricorn energy that's here right now is really inviting us to do that. Ooh, awesome. Glad that this time works today for you. We're really being called back to our roots of what really works for us, what tunes us into nature. And home energy, very much with Cancer, family energy is big with Cancer. And the loose ends, there is something in the energy that's really inviting us to tie up loose ends right now. And I really especially feel that as we are moving towards the Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year in February, which is going to be the fire horse. I'm so excited for it. And so between now and then, there's this sort of onboarding ramp where we're being invited to clear out all of the old stuff that doesn't fit anymore. We're being invited to really be in a new relationship and just clear away the old. So we'll definitely do some good, juicy energy clearing here in a bit. But another fun fact about this particular lunation is that this is our last supermoon until November. So we won't have another supermoon until November 24th. So this is a particularly bright and big lunation. And I feel like when that happens, it's like, hey, pay attention. It's not quite eclipse level, but it's like the energy is closer physically. And so the energy is really inviting us in. And so, some invitations here for us in this particular phase are to really honor our emotional needs, especially as they relate to our roots and to our home and family life, and to look at how is unfinished business really weighing on us? How is the stuff we need to clear out that maybe has been stuck because of holidays or just for the last year, years, etc.? we're really, really being called to clear that out and find closure. There's a major closure energy with this full moon in Cancer. And so the biggest invitation is to really address the personal issues that we might have been, too busy to handle over the holiday season. I know with this last moon phase, so many of us had some big, we'll call them challenges in life that we had to face. And maybe we haven't been able to face every single facet of them yet. So, this full moon between now and the new moon, and especially between now and the Lunar New Year, is really inviting us to clear out all that clutter. This can be physical and tangible. It can also be energetic. It can be clearing out relationships and making peace with the unpleasant realities. There's this huge energy happening right now. I feel this big time in myself of like we can no longer keep our head in the sand. And so that's part of the invitation here, is to make peace with unpleasant realities so we can actually do something about it. And we need to be really mindful to gather energy and resources before we go on to tackling new major undertakings. So, again, the invitation right now, very practical Capricorn energy mixed in with this Cancer full moon, is saying, regather your wits about you, wrap up those old tasks, clear them away, have the hard conversations if you need to, feel the tough emotions if you need to, because it's time to make peace with the unpleasant reality that is here and actually do something with it. So, that is our energetic update and what's happening in the astrology. So, with that in mind, especially with the themes of roots, home, and loose ends, I would love to invite you to set an intention about what you'd like to do, be, embrace, or let go of over the next 2 weeks or so. So I've put some intention setting statements here. You can do in the coming weeks, I will, I commit to, I choose to, I lovingly let go of, or any version of your own intention. But let's just take a moment here to jot it down, and then we'll move into the energy clearing. So, what are your intentions around roots, home, loose ends, or anything else that's coming up for you right here, right now? And I'm writing mine down as well. And as always, you're welcome to share them in the chat if you would like. There is no pressure. You can always email me, message me if you'd like to share. And as you continue writing down your intentions or sitting with them, I'm going to get our energy clearing going here. Because as always, when we start to set intentions, we might notice thoughts arise that say, I can't have that. That's not for me. It's going to get blocked. It's never going to happen. Just noticing if you have any of those little mental blips, those stories that try to shrink you or make you small. And let's clear them away. Again, taking your time here with your intention. And I invite you to just be with your breath, whether you are continuing to journal. And allow your inhale to call in all of your own energy, positive energy, uplifting energy, peace and ease and rootedness. And as you exhale, blow it out, let anything go that is not you. Let the exhale be a gentle purging of old energy. I am a Wheel of the Year person, so I really celebrate Samhain. Between Samhain and winter solstice as our new year. in sort of the wheel of the year sense. Then we've got our lunar new year, which I also love and feels really like a fresh start. But then we have our calendar new year where we are right now. And it's a great way for us in the modern day to look back and really clear out the year before, all of those calendar months. So just letting go of any tension from the past calendar year that you can right now. And I'm clearing out on behalf of anyone here or not who wants to let go of stuck, stagnant, sticky energy right here, right now. The utmost compassion and love for the lessons learned. I just saw this in one of my notebooks where I had written down that wisdom is really knowledge applied. So may what you learned last year be applied to this year. So you don't have to relearn the same lessons. You don't get the same material. Let last year's lessons be this year's wisdom. Just seeing if you can sigh out any other energy. Maybe wiggle the body, relax the shoulders, the jaw. Maybe stretch, whatever feels good here, just to work out some of that energy that might be stored in your physical body. That's ready to be turned back over, relinquished back to the cosmos, to our guides, to our higher powers, our higher self. So just a little clearing visualization here before we go into our full guided practice. Perhaps picking an element. I'm picking water because that's what feels good here on our Cancer full moon, but allowing an element, earth, air, fire, water, light, to just wash through you head to toe, collecting up any other energies that aren't for you right here, right now, that don't want to go with you into the guided practice. So, as we go into our guided practice here, I always like to really be clear that there is no one right way to receive this. You may see images, hear things, sense or know things, taste, feel. There is no one right way, but you can follow along with my words as much or as little as you'd like. Have your own spiritual experience. That's what I'm here for. And yeah, take what you need from it and leave the rest. Eyes can be opened, closed. You can be seated, standing, dancing, journaling. But right here, right now, tuning into this present moment, tuning back into the breath. No intention behind the breath right now. Just being here now. Noticing any sensations in the body that catch your attention. And if they need tending to, just gently tending to them. Maybe moving your body or giving contact. And otherwise releasing any focus on the physical body. Noticing the quality of the thoughts. Is your mind calm or racing? Just noticing, no judgment. And then seeing if you can allow yourself to drift out of the thinking mind, out of the thoughts, sinking like a stone down into the heart space. And from the seat of your heart space, beginning to call on a recent moment of unconditional love, perhaps with a loved one, an animal companion, or nature, your higher power, And if no recent memory comes to mind, you can tune into that higher power of unconditional love or imagine yourself surrounded by your favorite animal. And as we tune into unconditional love, know that I am loving you here unconditionally, offering you that energy. As we begin to open a portal in the heart, and the portal opens to a beach scene. You can see the waves lapping against the shore. So as you step through this portal in your own time and way, just take a moment to take stock of the scenery. Is it night? Is it day? Is it cool? Is it hot? And what's here for you in nature as you step through? And we'll welcome in an angel, ancestor, guardian, or guide. You can welcome anyone who wants to be here with you to assist in your ceremony. Just noticing who arrives. And if no one arrives or you would like an additional guide, there is a crab here for you. Just taking a moment here to connect with crab and or your guide. And seeing if they have any initial impressions to give you as you land here this first full moon of 2026. What is your intuition telling you right now? Just pausing long enough to listen here. And then walking towards the waves, finding yourself closer to the shore, watching the way this water energy moves through. And as you stand at the water's edge, you have a few choices here. You can move fully into the water for this ritual. You can stand at the shore side and work with the water in energy. But just beginning to connect with the energy of water, this emotional depth, flow, cycles. What does water mean to you? And how can you connect with water more intentionally to revivify yourself, to bring yourself better energy? How does water want to connect with and serve you? Your guides begin to assist in bringing this water energy up and around, moving over your energy field, swirling around you. And as it does so, collecting all of the residual emotions and energy from the prior 13 moon cycle, gathering up any energy that's ready to be released, transmuted, alchemized. Might see the dewdrops collecting. They might have colors or effervescence, or they might be dark. Just noticing what happens here as you allow the water to flow over you, through you, with you, here and now. What emotions have you been holding on to that you are ready to let go of? Turn it over to the water. Turn over those emotions you've been holding tight to that aren't even really informing you now. They're not informing you of truth. They're not informing you of action. They're just stuck there. You've been holding on to them because you feel like you have to, because you feel like you need to resolve them. Emotions are like waves, coming and going. Unclenching your fists, turning the emotions over to the energy of water, assisted by your guide here, and allow those emotions to become untangled, to become serene. Perhaps you felt bitterness, resentment, frustration, misplaced anger, blame, shame, fear, old disappointments. Any of this that you're ready to let go of, just turning it over to your guide, to the water, to your higher self, giving it to the ocean to be transmuted, to be changed. And feeling this happening, most subtle of levels, every cell of your being cleansed and purified by the energy of water moving through you. And some of us, many of us, most of us, what I'm sensing, have old cords, and I'm sensing them like kelp, tangled kelp that's wound around bits of our bodies, like tangled threads. Cords pulling us towards things that don't really belong to us, towards people and communities that aren't for us, towards practices that aren't really for us. These cords, these kelps dragging us, trying to drag us down, we're untangling them now, snipping them away, giving them back to the water to be alchemized. Perhaps fish come along to help, or crab, just noticing how this comes through. Releasing, releasing, releasing back to the water. And then you notice yourself more buoyant, lighter, clearer, freer. Notice where you feel more ease in your body. Notice where the emotions don't feel quite as tangled. What's opening up for you in this new phase ahead? As water washes away that which is no longer needed or desired, what is it making room for? As you tie up loose ends, emotions that no longer serve, energy that no longer serves, projects that you're releasing, finishing up, relationships you're letting go of or changing, just being with the process of alchemy. Notice how one thing turns to another, how one emotion turns to another, one thought turns to another, one physical sensation turns to another. And what loose ends do you need to tie up that aren't energetic? What loose ends do you need to tie up that are physical? And can you set some intentions here? How to move forward from this space? And what do you want to invite into your home life, with your family, your loved ones? As you clear out the old, what are you making room for in your home? Spaciousness, freedom, play. We're making room for all of this in you. An era ahead of so much more ease and clarity, anchored into the roots of who you truly are. This is possible for you. You do get to live a life by your own design, and you are invited to be with what you need to clear in the coming days and tie up those loose ends in the tangible physical realm. But here, energetically, allow this to complete as much as it can complete now. This energy of release and rejuvenation, of clearing out the old. And allow yourself to integrate the sense of spaciousness and freedom. Allow it to be in your heart space. And then once again, I'll ask, what is your intuition telling you? And looking to your guide or guides, asking them if they have any final messages for you today. And whether any clear message came through or not, know that you are so loved and your emotions are important information. And when they ebb and flow like the waves of the ocean before you, they're doing exactly what they need to do. You don't have to grip onto them. You don't have to hold on to them. You don't have to make sense of them. You can allow them to wash through. Know that you are entering a new era, a new chapter, and you get to make it your own. So, with gratitude for whatever was gained today, whatever messages came through, whatever was cleared, begin to step back or remove yourself from the water, feeling yourself instantly and magically dry if you were wet. And then saying thank you to crab energy, to the moon, to the ocean, to yourself, to any other guides. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Turn back towards the portal of the heart, knowing you may return to this form of practice at any time. And step through that portal back fully into the physical body, wiggling the fingers and toes. And if they are not already open, gently blinking the eyes open. And looking around your space. Feel free to take some moments here to jot down any notes that you might want to remember, any messages that came through. And I am going to pull some cards for the collective. All right. Today I am pulling from a oldie but a goodie, one of my favorite decks, the Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray. And I take these as, sort of a message both for this this full moon energy, but also just for our new calendar year, because that's where we're at. No, it really was you. Okay. All right. Well, first, I love these. Moon, take note of intuitive messages. Like that wasn't what we were just doing. Whatever's coming through for you intuitively right now is so important. You know, all our water signs are very intuitive, but the moon is governed by Cancer, or Cancer is governed by the moon. I will never claim to be an astrology expert and be able to talk perfectly about them, but Cancer and the moon go hand in hand, and the moon is such a intuitive feeling celestial body. So it makes sense that many of us have been experiencing heightened intuition right now. And I just have to say, funny story, I was celebrating like a 13 nights of Yule practice, and I wrote down 13 wishes, and the first wish I wrote down, I was like, I really hope that this is not the wish I pull that I'm responsible for next year. But I have a feeling it's going to be. Like, I knew in my heart of hearts, and you in this practice fold up your slips of paper, and you pull one each day and you burn them. And the one that is left after the 13 or the 12 days on the 13th day is the one you're responsible for in in making come true. And it totally was that one. And they're folded up so you can't see which ones you're pulling. And I totally, out of 13 slips, pulled the one after all those days of burning the others. That was the one I knew I would get. So I just thought that was too funny. And, you know, going into this intuitive chapter, it just makes sense. So next we have Stag, Trust, and Thrive. I feel like this goes hand in hand with take note of our intuitive messages. If we can trust those intuitive messages, we're going to get exactly where we need to go. So follow it. And Stag is such a gentle energy and such a earth energy. And so trust in the planet, trust in natural rhythms. That's a major message here too. And then finally, we have Shaman, trust in higher forces. We are really being told to trust right now, to really trust in ourselves, in the powers that be, beyond our understanding sometimes, right? To trust in what we've done is with purpose, and where we're going has meaning. So much of that. And really trusting our own spiritual gifts. That goes hand in hand with, you know, taking note of our intuitive messages, but trusting our spiritual gifts, because that is sort of our own higher force, right? It doesn't necessarily make sense to us all the time that we have these gifts. But when we trust in them, we are connected to a sense of something greater than just us. So, Shaman, Stag, and Moon, 3 powerful energies to work with and really embrace in this year to come, but also specifically in this lunation as we really anchor into, again, tying up our loose ends, taking stock of where we're going next, making sure we are calling our energy back in, all that stuff. So that is our first full moon. It's technically tonight at 5 a.m. my time. Well, tomorrow, but you can go outside and see this full supermoon in all its glory, I hope, either tonight or tomorrow. And it is emotionally potent. If you're feeling a lot of feelings, you're not alone, but it is here to be worked with. Make peace with the unpleasant realities. So, and next up, I just want to let you know about our next events. We have a new moon in Capricorn coming up here on 119 will be the ceremony here on YouTube. And I am really excited to do a special acorn activation event on Sunday, January 25th. This is in honor of Letters of Legacy, which is a book that is coming out this month that I contributed a chapter to. I shared about my druid journey and how I came into that, and it inspired a acorn portal event to share some of my chapters, share some of my story, and then guide us through a practice of working with acorn. So I hope you will consider joining me for that. And if you want to make sure that you do not miss the moon ceremonies and you know exactly when they are, you can sign up for them at safrianna.com/moon. This gives you emails. The emails also, we have rejuvenated them for 2026, and we're giving you more of the themes and journal prompt ideas in these email reminders now, just so they're not just a reminder email. There's even more of a reason to open them up and tune in advance to kind of what's coming so you can notice it as it arises. And then, as always, if you have the means and desire to do so, you can donate because I keep these ceremonies free at safrianna.com/donate. It's always appreciated, never mandatory. And otherwise, I just want to share that we have a lot of amazing things coming up. We are just a month away from Imbolc, which is it ironically not my favorite holiday, or one of the ones that I say is my favorite holiday, but as a priestess of Brigid, it is a very important holiday to me because it's very much one that honors the energy of Brigid and is associated with her. But I love to call it the candle holiday, and it is going to be really beautiful. I have no doubt. So if you would like to learn more about that, I don't have this typed up, so I'm just going to type it in here real quick. If you want to learn any more about those ceremonies, you can go to safrianna.com/seasonal to learn more about seasonal shenanigans, my Wheel of the Year ritual series with Dr. Melissa Bird. So I hope your brand fresh new calendar year is off to a beautiful start. I hope that this full moon in Cancer treats you gently, and that you treat yourself gently, and that you're compassionate as you face those unpleasant realities and clear up loose ends and go back to your roots. As always, know that I see you, I believe in you, and I'm cheering you on. I love y'all so much. I will see you back here on the 19th for the new moon in Capricorn. All right, until next time, my friends, I'm